What's up everybody, Ashley Nichols here, and today we're going to be getting into part 3 of narcissistic abuse and recovery. In part 1, we talked about how to identify the narcissist by going over the 5 biggest characteristics of them. In part 2, we talked about how to deal with the narcissist while you're still in the relationship, and it led to us making the decision to leave them. So now, today we're going to be talking about how to move on from the narcissist and begin your new life in a healthy and happy way. If you were brave enough to make the decision to leave, I'm already proud of you. You got this. So the very first thing I want you to do is ensure you'll be stable when you leave. Make sure you'll have somewhere to go and money saved in order to adjust to paying things on your own, if you're not already. If you don't have an income, get one or ask for help from friends and family. Even if your narcissist has isolated you from them, call them up. Let them know, hey, I'm not safe and I need your help. And I guarantee you, they'll quickly forgive you because they know it's not your fault that you disappeared. And while you're doing all this, while you're saving money, finding somewhere to go, stay true to your decision, honor your decision. And if you start to backtrack and you're like, oh, maybe this is wrong, start from step 1 if you have to. Start going over the characteristics, do your research, start comparing, make the decision all over again. So the second thing I want you to do, no contact. If you don't have children together, go absolutely no contact, no matter how hard or how lonely. Because once you leave, the narcissist won't like that. They won't like you defying them, and they'll do everything in their power to get you back. Whatever magic words they had in the beginning, they'll have them all over again, ×2. And if you do have children with them, go no contact unless it has something to do with your children. So if they're talking to you about, their school or something important, okay, fine. But if they start to drift off and go, honey, I really miss you, I love you, say stop. Stop right there. Unless you have something to say about our kids, I do not want to speak to you. Goodbye. And this is something I didn't do, but God, do I wish I did, because it completely affected my new relationship and my new life in a very, very damaging way. But when I finally went no contact, it was hard, but it was also completely freeing. And while you're going no contact, it's okay to miss them. It's okay to grieve. Even though it was an abusive relationship, it was still a relationship. You still had feelings. So it's okay to be a little sad, but do yourself the biggest favor you can and go no contact. And the third thing I want you to do not date for 1 year. I only say this because if you're not healed, you'll likely fall for the same tricks. And if you're lucky enough like me and you find someone who's not a narcissist, well, guess what? You're not healed still, and you're gonna start taking it out on him. And if you watched my first video, you know that I met my current husband 2 months after I had left my narcissist, and it was detrimental. It came out in ways of anger, jealousy, I was crying a lot, I was not ready. So I recommend do not date for a year. You're not ready to love a new person the way that they deserve. And honestly, it's not fair to date someone else when you still have feelings for your ex. If it was happening to you, you wouldn't be very happy about it. So why would you do that to someone else? And the fourth thing I want you to do is focus on you. During this year that I want you to be single, I want you to date yourself. In the relationship with the narcissist, you likely lost yourself. What are your likes and dislikes? What are your dreams? What are your hobbies? What is your passion? Find out. Go try new things. For example, what's your favorite cocktail? Go sit down at a bar, order 2, and decide, okay, I like this a little better. When you do start dating someone and they ask you these questions, like, what do you do for fun? What do you like? You won't have to guess, you'll know. And as a part of focusing on yourself, I want you to do some self-discovery. What was going on with you that led to you even falling for those tricks? Do you feel unlovable? Do you feel like maybe you're not enough? So listen to some podcasts, watch some self-help YouTube videos, read some articles, or if you have the funds, find a therapist and heal. Give yourself time to heal. And the fifth thing I want you to do is forgive. Forgive yourself for staying as long as you did. Forgive yourself for any reactive abuse that you may have done that you regret. And forgive the narcissist. I know that sounds crazy, like you really don't want to forgive them, but holding a grudge will lead to anger and resentment, and it will hold you back from moving on. So a way you can do this is to write a handwritten, uncensored letter to them. Tell them how they hurt you. Tell them how you feel using any cuss words, not caring about how they would be feeling about what you're saying. Just write anything that comes to your mind. Let it all out. And at the end of the letter, I want you to say, I forgive you anyway, and goodbye. Trust me, you'll feel so relieved after you finish that letter. So now you have two options of what you could do with that letter. Number one, you can send it, but that's not going to do anything because they don't care about how they affected you. They lack empathy. And also you should really hold tight to that no contact rule. The second thing you can do, which is what I completely recommend, is to burn it. That'll be your own way of letting go. And the last thing I want you to do, remember the ick. As you start to move on, you'll begin to forget all of the bad stuff and you'll start to romanticize the relationship and remember all the love bombing and the good parts. It's a thing called rose-colored glasses. So what I want you to do is, while it's still fresh, write an ick list. Write down all of the bad things they did. And as you move through life, if you find yourself thinking, well, maybe it wasn't that bad, pull out that ick list and read it and honor your decision to leave. Honor that girl or guy who was brave enough to make that decision and move on from someone who is abusive and controlling. Like I said, it's okay to miss them or even still love them at first. An abusive relationship was still a relationship. So grieve, mourn, be sad, but remember the ick. So we identified the 5 characteristics of a narcissist. We went over 4 ways to deal with a narcissist while you're still in the relationship, and I gave you 6 ways to move on in a healthy way. That is 15 steps. 15 steps I want you to hold dear, take seriously, and execute. And like I said in part 2, if you're going through this, I'm so sorry because I know how hard it is. It's extremely difficult, but you deserve more. You're a beautiful, strong person, and you can do this. Stay golden. So that was my 3-part series on narcissistic abuse and recovery. If it was helpful for you or you want to hear some more information, please leave a comment. And if you liked it, leave a like and subscribe. And next week we'll be discussing relationship anxiety. After your year off, after dating the narcissist, if you get into a healthy relationship, you'll find you have some new challenges because you're not used to this. We're going to talk about it and we're going to do some real, honest healing. See you next week.